Hello, speech class. My name is Alex Persaud, and this is my informative essay. So, for my speech, I'd like to talk about motorcycle culture in America. So, motorcycle culture embodies freedom, rebellion, which often leads to a lack of helmet usage. So, with the lack of helmet usage, it comes at a cost, and a lot of times that cost is death. So many people ride motorcycles, and many more people know somebody who rides. That's why this topic is very important to learn about and to spread. So, in terms of my relationship with motorcycles, I've been riding for the past 7 years now, ever since I was a senior in high school. So, over the years, I've witnessed a lot of different incidents involving helmet usage inside the community. So, in terms of motorcycle gear itself, the motorcycle helmet is by far one of the most important pieces of gear since it protects one of the most vital organs we have, which is our brain. All it takes is one quick hit of the head to the pavement, and that's all it takes to end your life. So, regarding the helmets, the first point I'd like to bring up is the relationship between motorcycle riding and traffic fatalities. So unfortunately, according to the NHTSA, the government website, between all traffic fatalities, 15% of them involves motorcycles. So when you think about the amount of people who actually ride motorcycles on the road that you see in everyday life versus the total amount of traffic fatalities, 15% is a remarkably high statistic. According to the NHTSA, they also conclude that when you crash in a motorcycle, you are 28 times more likely to perish from that incident than if you were to crash inside of a car. So all of that brings up very important discussion regarding the danger of riding motorcycles. All right, so now that we know about the link between riding motorcycles and the fatalities, now we can bring up how the importance of helmets in the aspect of safety. So, according to the CDC, unhelmeted riders, when they crash, are 3 to 4 times more likely to stand greater injury. And to bring that to perspective, so if somebody was wearing a helmet and they go down, that's 3 times more likely to survive that incident just by wearing a simple piece of gear. And according to the CDC as well, that just by wearing the helmet, you are less likely to get any injury. And even if you do receive an injury while wearing a helmet, it is more unlikely to receive long-term disability, which also results in a lack of financial burden. Because as you know, if you receive a disability, it can result in countless amounts of medical fees, medical bills throughout the duration of your life, which all could have been prevented by buying a helmet for a couple $100s. So when you compare the cost, it answers for itself. All right. And now, for my final point, I'd like to talk about possible solutions to increase helmet usage. So, in the state of Florida, once you're under the age of 21, it is a law to wear a helmet. So if we were to expand that law to make every rider to need to wear a helmet to avoid fines, such as Hawaii, then we can increase the total amount of helmet usage. So according to PubMed Central article they wrote, they concluded that there is a direct link between helmet usage and the reduce of motorcycle fatalities, which is something that is very important to know because it might impede on some freedoms that we have. But just like a car, it is a law to wear a seatbelt. It is for safety. We all accepted that. So it makes sense to mandate something like helmet laws in order to increase the overall safety of riding motorcycles and to lower that 15% fatality rate. All right. So to reiterate the overall points, just wear a helmet. It is comparatively to the possible medical bills, the chance of death, and the overall chances of injury. Spend a couple hundred, save your life, and possibly save a family member or a friend who rides. Thank you very much, and that concludes my speech.